You're not half bad. You killed my father. Like father, like son.
Welcome to the motherfucker. We're covering today's top boxing news.
Okay, we'll start with this. Happy Father's Day to everyone. Happy Father's Day to Sean. Sean Zittel, who reached out to me yesterday for being featured in one of my latest videos about how Americentric the pundits are here in the United States.
Sean wasn't too happy.
He said the screenshot you've shared from your 100th video about me from 2021 is not an official pic.
Video's not about you, Sean. You should know that because it wasn't your name in the headline.
He's talking about for the Inoue versus Fulton fight, and he said, when it came time to pick a winner in 2023, I went on the record on Fight Hype and Daisuke's Japanese outlets with Inoue by decision.
Daisuke Sugiura!
Saying in 2021 they might, as in maybe, want to keep Inoue away from Fulton when Inoue was a 118-pounder in 2021 is not saying Fulton beats Inoue. It was just me saying it's a dangerous fight for him at that time.
Either way, it didn't turn out to be too dangerous at all, Sean.
Sean continued, once it was official, I had Inoue and it's on the record in multiple places, but keep doing your thing.
To which I responded, thank you for reaching out, Sean. You've developed quite a reputation for being Americentric. Some believe you have an axe to grind with Inoue.
Yeah, some people believe that. I'm some people.
You must respect his samurai, Sean. Only then will you find the promised land.
Here's to 101 more videos.
To which Sean responded, I've said 98% good things about Inoue. Literally just about every good thing you can say about him. I have multiple times. There's hundreds of black American fans calling me a racist every week for saying things they don't like, including my latest Xander vs. Boots take and saying Shakur's fight with Teofilo was overrated, picking Canelo over Bud, and plenty more.
Hey, I know the feeling.
But keep making videos about me, it's fine. But didn't you once have a PSA about the only opinion you care about is mine, as in yours? It's not true. You definitely care about mine, which is fine, and I do on some level appreciate that.
You flatter yourself, Sean.
To which I responded, now Sean, you're just being vain. You weren't the only one mentioned in that video. It's actually more about Max Kellerman than you, since he's mentioned in two separate segments, and it's his name in the headline, Sean, not yours.
I do videos about anyone and everybody's boxing takes, not just yours, Paulie's, Tim Bradley's, Chris Algieri's. You're so vain. You probably think this vid is about you.
Sean responded by posting one of my recent thumbnails where he was featured, not realizing there's nothing unique about being featured in one of my thumbnails. Anyone from Paulie Malignaggi, several times actually, more than Sean, Timothy Bradley,
Max Kellerman.
I tried to tell him that there's nothing unique about being featured on one of my thumbnails. A good number of individuals in boxing have been featured on my thumbnails.
There's nothing unique about it, Sean. So do us all a favor and give Inoue a fair shake and stop Asian hate.
To which Sean responded, I have. I've genuinely given him every compliment you can give the guy, so it's a false premise. Just like your premise that I picked Fulton to beat him. To which I responded, I didn't invent the premise, Sean. I observed it the same way a scientist observes microorganisms in a petri dish. Stop Asian hate, Sean, and do it for the Vine. To which Sean responded, you're just running with the narrative other sycophants have from the 2023 video about PEDs where I also mentioned Roy, Holyfield, Canelo, Manny, Floyd, Plant, Benn, etc., etc., asked David about his connection to Memo Heredia to his face, which made him want to curse me out before the Morel fight, pulled Ryan's card about it at Canelo vs. Munguia, dropped the video of Conte saying he can beat tests, which made Haney block me. I was talking about Inoue being special a decade ago, before you had a channel.
Now, Sean, I've actually had this channel for more than a decade, and I too have been ranting and raving about Inoue.
You can't pull rank on me, Sean. I'm older than you. Sean continued, there are literally dozens of videos of me talking about Inoue being special for the last decade. I can bring them up, but you'll just stick with it. So have a good day, bro. Just trying to present the truth.
Appreciate a little bit of civil discourse within the boxing space. Be pretty fucking boring if we all just sat around agreeing with each other all the time. But the reason that Sean's accusatory statement Its implications ruffled so many feathers is because there was no precedent to suspect Inoue of doping.
Sean mentioned a good number of fighters, many of which are American, who either were caught in the act with banned substances in their systems, worked with individuals that peddled banned substances,
Like Memo Heredia, Victor Conti.
so there was some precedent to take the conversation in that direction, whereas with Inoue, he doesn't work with any Victor Contis, he doesn't work with any Memo Heredias.
And the timing.
If my memory serves me, Sean made these statements right around the time that Inoue starched Stephen Fulton, beat him, and made it look easy. So when you say this afterwards, it just seems like you're trying to disparage his win over him.
It just seems like you couldn't really criticize his boxing career up until that point. He was doing everything right.
Couldn't really criticize many, if any, of his performances so far since he had been dominant up until that point, so you manufacture something to criticize him over.
That is how people took it, Sean. That was the interpretation. You can't say too many bad things about this guy, so you'll cook something up.
And the way I see it, even that comment by itself doesn't seem like much by itself, but when you put it all together, it's part of a bigger picture. Many of the Americentric boxing takes we often hear in this part of the world, it just seems like Inoue can't do anything right for some people.
The Americans.
Max Kellerman, who rates Inoue 3 spots behind Shakur Stevenson and Bam Rodriguez, who have yet to accomplish what Inoue has accomplished. For some reason, Malik Scotch thinks Bam's got better footwork than Inoue. Based on what?
And of course, your own suspicions, your own comments, I should say, insinuating potential doping.
You monopolized the conversation and made it all about yourself, Sean, when it wasn't just about you. It was about a good number of the pundits in America who all seemed to try to find ways to disparage that fighter, taking it all away from the point.
It was about Inoue.
And I maintain my original position. I think that if Inoue were an American fighter with that exact same resume, they would have built him a church in Times Square by now. But because he's a little Japanese guy, he doesn't really get the credit he deserves.
Not from the Americans.
So maybe asking for impartiality in a sport as tribal and visceral as boxing is asking for too much?
But I don't see the Brits saying the things about Inoue that the Americans say. I don't see the Aussies doing that either.
I don't see any of the journos in those markets insinuating that Inoue is doping. And when I talk to individuals from these regions, the United Kingdom, Australia, some parts of Mexico and Central America, they all seem to agree that Inoue is the best in show right now. It's only when you talk to the Americans that you hear these disparaging comments. So you'll excuse me for saying so.
Yeah, maybe you've given this guy a compliment or two over time.
But this is bigger than you, Sean. This is about an established pattern in the United States and how it treats foreign fighters.
Fuck, I ain't the only one that notices it.
I'm just one of many individuals pointing it out.
Simple as.
Whenever Zuffa boxing gets involved, it's always a up. It's always a... I don't know if they don't know what they're doing or they don't want to follow the rules. I mean, there's a reason why people want to eliminate the Muhammad Ali Act. But let me tell you one thing, there's promoters for a reason, and we all work great together as promoters, except when Zuffa gets involved. So look, Ryan Garcia obviously is going to fight soon. It's a matter of how we can work out this deal. Is it going to be with Zuffa because they have Conor Benn, or is it not? But one thing is for sure, he will fight on the zone.
You know, I hear Ryan and Vergil. I mean, I heard that rumor from...
We can squash that.
Okay.
That's just a misunderstanding.
Okay.
Rumor, misunderstanding. Vergil has his career. Ryan has his career. Different paths.
Very hyperbolic statements from Oscar De La Hoya last night at the Golden Boy promotion show that all the promoters work beautifully with each other, all without Zuffa.
For how many years were all those same promoters happy to stand apart behind their political boundary lines? It was actually Turkey that brought them all together, and so long as he's the one paying for everything, yeah, they're happy to work together, but the rest of the time?
Now, if you were to take Turkey out of the equation, and all of his money, would it stay as harmonious as it has been. A lot has changed over time. Many of the promoters, the feuding promoters, are on the same side of the street.
Boxer is right there on DAZN, alongside Queensbury, alongside Matchroom, what used to be their competitor. Top Rank is there too.
People tend to forget that before the PBC versus Top Rank rivalry, there was the Golden Boy Promotions versus Top Rank rivalry.
Thus, many of the promoters that used to feud with each other are all now housed on the same platform, so I suppose that helps in terms of harmony.
Now, what Asuka said about Zuffa, that they attempted to make the Ryan Garcia versus Conor Benn fight without his input, without his involvement, without his approval.
Even if they're the ones paying for everything, that's just not gonna work. You still need for him to sign off on it. You still need for Golden Boy to give that fight its blessing, and worse, he's making it contingent upon it happening on DAZN. Not Netflix.
Nope.
Not Paramount.
DAZN.
Ryan is a flagship fighter for Golden Boy, after all. Flagship fighter for the platform itself.
Thus, there could be trouble in paradise for what's supposed to be the fight between Ryan and Conor. And then you see Ryan take to his social media earlier today saying, "Devin, I'm waiting."
Waiting for what?
A substitute, perhaps. Are they attempting to swap out Conor Benn as Ryan's next opponent and use a Devin Haney rematch in its place that would now be a unification fight for Ryan's WBC and Devin's WBO?
Well, what about Conor being as mandatory?
Frankly, I don't think the World Boxing Council would stand in the way of a Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney rematch, not if it's for 2 alphabet titles.
Well, what about the WBO, and what about Keyshawn Davis? Ain't he Devin's mandatory?
He is, but I think the same applies. I think that if you can make a Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney fight, the WBO would allow it. They've not yet ordered the fight between Devin and Keyshawn, after all.
There's still time.
Now, of course, this would alienate Conor Benn and leave him without a dance partner and without a title to fight for.
I don't know that a Devin Haney rematch actually pays out more money to Ryan than fighting Conor would, because with Conor, it's a transatlantic fight that would bring both American and British boxing fans together.
And to use Ryan on either Netflix or Paramount, I'm pretty sure that Zuffa was prepared to kick out a lot of money, like a lot of money up front, whereas with Devin, you know that's going to be a pay-per-view.
The fight is only as big as how many fans buy it, how many fans pay for it, and I'm not sure that so many fans would pay for that rematch that Ryan makes more with Devin than he would with Conor.
Don't misunderstand me. The Devin Haney rematch is still a commercially viable fight. It could do something. I just don't know if it's bigger than fighting Conor. I just don't know if it pays more to Ryan
Than fighting Conor.
but they've got to compensate him. If what they're doing now is guiding him away from a fat purse with Conor,
You better get him something comparable.
you're fucking him out of a lot of money. For a fight that he stands a very good chance of winning, Conor Benn is going to be dead on arrival as a welterweight. He hasn't made that weight in 3 or 4 years. It's an easy fight for Ryan to win for what is a lot of money, and you're guiding him away from that.
All this fucking bullshit about the Muhammad Ali Act and doing what's best for the fighters. I think what's best for Ryan is fighting Conor.
And what I liked about the Conor Benn fight that I liked a little bit more than the Haney fight is the Conor Benn fight likely wouldn't have been a pay-per-view, whereas with Devin, that is what they're going to resort to. They still have that ultimate tier they're trying to spruce up, billing as many big-time fights as pay-per-views as possible. So on that premise, I do have a preference. We'll see if Ryan does and who he ends up fighting.
Just in keeping with the theme of all things Golden Boy, veteran manager Rick Merrigan said this is not good. I mean, this is horrible.
What is?
This absolutely could be the worst possible thing there is for Xander Zayas, Jaron Ennis, and Sebastian Fundora, and anyone at junior middle, as if the boss signs off on this. You guys are fucked.
The boss.
Well, it used to be Tony Danza, but I don't think that's who Rick Merrigan was talking about. I think he was talking about Asuka, whose ass he's been licking.
Ass he's been kissing ever since Golden Boy Promotions got an extension with DAZN. When they didn't have a broadcaster, Rick Merrigan had all kinds of things to say about Oscar, about Golden Boy, but now that they're back on the saddle and have a home for their fights...
Oh, Asuka's the boss. Asuka's the boss again.
I'll bet he is, now that Rick Merrigan has come to his senses, attempting to backdoor Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy Promotions for greener pastures did not work out the way they thought it would, and now their best option is to get back on Oscar's good side to get Vergil active again. The saving grace is they're on the same page.
And so what is the latest with Vergil? I know you said you guys are kind of making up.
Things are happening. Things are happening. We're getting close. And like I said before, look, I like Vergil. He's a good kid. He's a hard worker. He deserves to be world champion many times over. We want to be there with him along the way, paving the way to make sure that he gets there. So I feel that we're very close. He will fight this year.
That's what I've been telling you guys all along while Vergil's career has been stalled, that they're gonna make amends, because they have to.
Rick's little plan didn't work, and now his best option is to get back on Oscar's good side, where he appears to be now, to get that fighter fighting again, because nobody benefits from Vergil being inactive.
Subject to personal preferences, the fight that I would like to see Vergil in the most, before this year is out, is the Sebastian Fundora fight. That's the one I want. That's the one I think is long overdue. Left to his own devices, Sebastian will hold that belt hostage and keep it out of circulation. Vergil has dibs.
He's been interim champion for about as long as Sebastian's been full champion. He won the interim title the same year that Sebastian became champion, 2 years ago.
It's been that long.
The PBC and Golden Boy promotions at this point have a good enough working relationship that they can make that fight between them. Like what they did with Ryan and Mario Barrios, they can do with this.
I don't know how much or how little Team Fundora want to do that fight. I don't know how crazy about it Samson Lukowicz is going to be, but I feel that the World Boxing Council will not order this one on their own. Not until at least one of the two teams is ready to fight.
And it's gotta be Vergil.
It's gotta be Golden Boy Promotions that petitions for it and applies pressure for the World Boxing Council to do their job and hold Sebastian Fundora's feet to the fire. You're always hearing about how deep the junior middleweight division is.
Boots is set to have his super fight next weekend. It's about time that Vergil have one of his own.
Said it in my previous video, I'll say it here again. The sooner they make amends, the better for Vergil. Ideally, you get him out in either the end of August or the beginning of September in a smaller fight, a tune-up, because he hasn't fought yet this year, to set him up for a bigger fight in the winter months, presumably with Sebastian Fundora.
Sebastian's been fighting, and he has been winning, but this attempt to make him a box office draw all on his own isn't working. He needs the right dance partner.
For what it's worth, he's a fun fighter to watch that's never in a boring fight. The two Tim Tszyu fights, the beating that he put on Cordell Booker, the more recent beating that he put on Keith Thurman.
Fucked him up.
But without the right dance partner, and without that big signature win,
the shit is a lost cause.
I think at this point, the best fight for Vergil and the best fight for Sebastian is them facing each other. And may the best man win.
Who's that gonna be?
Still lean a little bit towards Vergil Ortiz to close the distance, crash the pocket, and beat Sebastian from the inside out.
You already fucked up one PBC fighter in Erickson Lubin. Sebastian should be next.